ये सर बोलिए सर.
You go ahead. My support will be always available with you. Don't worry about it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
And whenever you want me to come to West Bengal, I should not be involved in any program in Delhi. I will come definitely.
Sure, sir. Sure.
If you want to arrange lectures for the students, that is also possible. 3 days lecture series can be done.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
अपने स्टूडेंट्स के लिए लेक्चर्स कराइए. Let them.
नीतू दीदी आ गई. डॉक्टर नीतू दत्त मैम, वेलकम मैम. नीतू दत्ता
कहाँ सर? गुड इवनिंग माय कलीग मृत्युंजय.
कैसे हो?
मैं सर, मैं हूँ सर, मैं बिल्कुल हूँ.
नॉट कॉलिंग,
मैं ठीक हूँ सर, बिल्कुल ठीक हूँ सर. बिल्कुल भाई तो है ये.
भाई हम लोग. हाँ
बिल्कुल, माय ब्रदर ओनली.
सर एक बार बोल दीजिए दीदी को. सर एक बार बोल दीजिए सर.
सर आज हमारा
मृत्युंजय ने बताया मेरे को. He told me about everything. कैसे कैसे.
Yeah. Today was the second day for. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was a nice experience for us, sir.
Must have been very hectic. You see, it must have been very hectic. And
बिल्कुल.
Mrityunjay told me that everything went on very well. So let us hope that you get a good grade.
Yes,
yeah, hope for the best.
But सर हम सबके लिए यही सौभाग्य के बाद
हमारे डिपार्टमेंट
1964 का कॉलेज था. आज तक नैक एग्रीगेटेड नहीं हो पाया था. जो भी कारण हो, आज 2025 में नैक एग्रीगेटेड हो चुका है. जो भी ग्रेड मिले
ग्रेड आपको अच्छा मिलेगा. If they have appreciated the college, grade आपको अच्छा ही मिलेगा. Minimum B++ तो मिलेगा. I am telling you. B++. It is not B. It is B++. And it can be A grade also. I will attend your lecture only for about 30-40 minutes. मेरा भी एक lecture है 8 बजे.
Okay, sir.
I have to give a lecture today at 8 o'clock.
सर ये तो हम लोग मिस कर रहे हैं ना सर. आप दूसरे दिन पे थर्सडे के अलावा रख लीजिए तो हम भी सुन सकते हैं आपको.
नहीं, मेरे किसी ने रखा है, मेरा नहीं है, किसी ने रखा है. और इसीलिए मैंने बोला ना, आप अपने कॉलेज में हर साल एक बार करो, मुझे बुलाओ, मैं आऊंगा पक्का. आई विल डेफिनेटली कम. And if you want, I can bring 1 or 2 more persons with me. कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
Good evening, ma'am. Our today's respected resource speaker, Dr. Deepti Joshi, ma'am, already joined.
Okay. Very good.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Sir, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone present here.
Good evening, ma'am.
इसी बीच हमारे बीच आ गए हैं हमारा टुडेस चीफ गेस्ट
डॉक्टर बाबर अली खान. हाउ आर यू?
वेलकम सर. गुड इवनिंग
सर. अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर. आबिद बोल रहा हूँ.
वालेकुम अस्सलाम.
सर ठीक है.
हाउ आर यू?
सर आई एम एब्सोल्युटली फाइन सर. I just saw the lectures of your and Deepti ma'am, so I decided to join. It's honor to join, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Abid Ali sir, to joining with us. Dr. Babar Ali sir, please keep on your video, please.
I am seeing Babar Ali after how many years? About 30-40 years. You are mute. You switch on your mic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think it's on.
Namaste, sir. Pranam, sir.
Pranam.
So I have seen you after about 40 years.
Not 40, sir. Actually, 88. Last we met.
88.
Yes, sir.
Okay, about 33 years.
33 years.
Yeah, it's long.
How's your health, sir?
I am in front of you. I am all right.
सर बर्धमान में मुलाकात नहीं हो पाया था क्या? बर्धमान में शायद मुलाकात हुआ था.
I could not meet him in Bardhaman.
Bardhaman. Sir. But I couldn't meet personally. In a group, we just met, sir.
Doesn't matter. I have told Mrityunjay and to organize another program. I will come definitely and meet all of you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, they can start now if everything is ready.
Okay.
मृत्युंजय प्रिंसिपल सर एक बार देखे ना, हम थोड़ा समय लेंगे. अभी आज जो नैक पीआर टीम द्वारा हमारा महाविद्यालय का विजिट हुआ वो 5 बजे खत्म हुआ. उसके बाद हम लोग 6 बजे निकले कॉलेज से. अभी
अच्छा
आ चुका हूँ, लेकिन प्रिंसिपल सर भी आ गया है.
मैडम दीप्ति कहाँ पे जॉब करती हैं?
Sir, I am in Prayagraj right now.
In Prayagraj?
Yes, sir.
My goodness, I think the whole country is gathered in Prayagraj at present.
Yes, sir. Mahakumbh is going on. Everybody is coming.
Mahakumbh is going on.
Yes, sir.
You come from which part of the country? You are from Uttar Pradesh?
Uttarakhand. I am from Uttarakhand, Haldwani, sir. Haldwani.
Haldwani.
Yesterday I was in Haldwani.
Oh, that's wonderful, sir.
I had a lecture in Haldwani yesterday.
All right, sir.
Because your university is coming up, sports university.
A sports university is coming up there.
And I am working as an advisor to them. So I was in Haldwani yesterday.
All right. Hopefully we will meet there, sir.
Sure.
And please come to Prayagraj.
Not now.
Conditions are not means things
favorable,
are good,
no.
but
not at all favorable.
इसी बीच हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं हमारा कॉलेज का रिस्पेक्टेड प्रिंसिपल सर प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर देवप्रसाद साहू सर. गुड इवनिंग सर.
गुड इवनिंग सर.
आपका साउंड म्यूट हुआ सर, अनम्यूट कीजिए प्लीज. प्रोफेसर साहू सर प्लीज आपका साउंड अनम्यूट कीजिए प्लीज.
नमस्ते मैडम. नमस्ते बाबू साहब.
नमस्ते सर. नमस्ते
सर. उपल सर भी है सर.
यस सर. नमस्ते डॉक्टर उपल सर. नमस्कार
सर. हम लोग शुरू करें सर.
यस
स्टार्टेड. रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट करो, चालू करो.
ओके सर.
চালু হয়ে গেছে.
আচ্ছা, নমস্কার. গুড ইভিনিং সবাইকে. সুস্থ দেহে সুস্থ মন এই নিয়েই আলাপন. A warm welcome to the all esteemed guest, resource speaker, passionate attendees. Today we gathered for a remarkable occasion, the 99th episode of Alapon, New Horizon of Physical Education in 21st Century, organized by the Department of Physical Education Seva Bharati Mahavidyalaya in associated with the Physical Education Foundation of India. This platform has been a beacon for insightful discussion and knowledge sharing in the field of physical education and sports science. As we approach the century mark, it is truly inspiring to see such unwavering commitment towards enhancing landscape of physical education. Today, we are gathered for 99th episode. Today, we have with us our respected principal, sir, Professor Dr. Devaprasad Sahu, sir, our former speaker, and a renowned physical educationalist, Professor Arun Kumar Uppal, sir, and today's our chief guest, Professor Dr. Babar Ali Khan, sir, and today's distinguished speaker, Professor Dr. Dipti Joshi, ma'am. Good evening to all, and I will call upon our respected principal, sir, Professor Dr. Devaprasad sir, for delivered his welcome address. Please, sir.
নমস্কার. গুড ইভিনিং এভরিবডি. সুস্থ দেহে সুস্থ মন নিয়ে আলাপন পশ্চিম বাংলার আদিবাসী অধ্যুষিত এলাকায় আমাদের এই সেবা ভারতী মহাবিদ্যালয় তাদেরই ফিজিক্যাল এডুকেশন বিভাগের উদ্যোগে 100 লেকচার সিরিজের যে আয়োজন করা হয়েছিল তার আজকে 99 এপিসোড। আজকের দিনের এই এপিসোডে I heartily welcome today's chief guest, Professor Babar Ali Khan. He is a former professor of Sri Hanuman Vyam Prasarak Mondal Degree College of Physical Education, Amravati, Maharashtra. I am very much thankful to him. He is sparing his valuable time for us. Thank you, sir. I also heartily welcome today's distinguished speaker, Dr. Dipti Joshi, Madam. She is Assistant Professor of Department of Physical Education, Prayagraj, UP. She will deliver a interesting topic today. Madam, I am very much thankful to you for sparing your valuable time for our institution, Alapon. I am also very much thankful and I will heartily welcome our teacher, our guide, Dr. Arun Kumar Upal, Professor Arun Kumar Upal, sir. He is also present here. From my end, from my institution point of view, I also heartily welcome. আরেকজন স্পিকার যিনি তার নলেজের মাধ্যমে আমাদের এই আলাপনকে সমৃদ্ধ করেছেন, প্রফেসর দিলীপ কুমার বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়, ওনাকেও মহাবিদ্যালয়ের পক্ষ থেকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। আলাপনে উপস্থিত ব্যক্তি যারা বুদ্ধিজীবী, শারীর শিক্ষাবিদ এবং আমার ছাত্রছাত্রী যারা আলাপনকে উপস্থিত হয়ে সমৃদ্ধ করেছেন আলাপনকে, সবাইকে মহাবিদ্যালয়ের পক্ষ থেকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। বক্তব্য দীর্ঘায়িত না করে আলাপনের শ্রীবৃদ্ধি হোক, আপনাদের আশীর্বাদে, আপনাদের দেখানো পথে আলাপন এগিয়ে চলুক, সে কথা বলে আমার এই স্বাগত ভাষণ শেষ করছি। নমস্কার। নমস্কার ম্যাডাম, নমস্কার। Over to Mrityunjay.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for your delivering welcome address. आज का दिन हम लोगों के सभी के लिए खुशी का दिन है। हमारा कॉलेज 1964 का कॉलेज था। पहली बार हमारा कॉलेज NAC एग्रीगेटेड होने के लिए जो विजिट था वो प्रोसेस कंप्लीट हुआ। लेकिन सबसे बढ़िया बात है जिन्होंने सामने से हम लोग को डायरेक्शन दिए, अभी ये आलापन के लिए भी सामने से गाइड किया, प्रोफेसर देवप्रसाद साहू सर। ऑलरेडी now he is in now college, present till now he is in college. So on behalf of our students and on behalf of Alapon, a special thanks to our respected principal sir. Now I will call upon Dr. Keshav Chandra Gop sir to introduce our today's chief guest, Professor Dr. Babar Ali Khan sir. Please Dr. Gop sir.
धन्यवाद मृत्युंजय। नमस्कार। आज के इस विशेष व्याख्यान में हमारे साथ मौजूद है भारत के शारीरिक शिक्षा जगत के एक अत्यंत सम्मानीय एवं प्रतिष्ठित व्यक्तित्व प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर बाबर अली खान महाशय। डॉक्टर बाबर अली खान सर ने बैचलर ऑफ फिजिकल एजुकेशन, मास्टर ऑफ फिजिकल एजुकेशन, एमफिल और डॉक्टरेट उच्च शिक्षा प्राप्त की है। इसके साथ ही उन्होंने नेशनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ NSNI से फुटबॉल के कोचिंग कोर्स सुसंपन्न करने के बाद डिग्री कॉलेज ऑफ फिजिकल एजुकेशन में 30 इयर्स गौरवशाली शिक्षण कार्य समाप्त करने के बाद अभी वापस फिर से वेस्ट बंगाल में लौटे हैं, लेकिन अपना शिक्षण कार्य खत्म नहीं किए हैं। जब भी जरूरत पड़ता है सर का पास मेरा जैसे सभी विद्यार्थी जाते हैं तो वापस जब तक वो शिक्षा पूरा नहीं हो पाता तब तक लौटाते नहीं। ऐसा कुछ दिन पहले मैं 5 मास्टर डिग्री का डिसर्टेशन लेके सर के पास जब आए थे परमिशन लेके, तो रात भर मैं 4 बजे सो गए थे, लेकिन सर ने जब तक वो काम पूरा नहीं किया, पूरा करेक्शन करने के बाद सर ने सुबह 5 बजे सोए। ऐसा सर का अंडर में 36 रजिस्टर्ड गाइड पीएचडी का है, 230 मास्टर डिग्री डिसर्टेशन का गाइड है। बट मैं, कोई भी पूछता है आपका गाइड कौन है, मैं पूछता हूँ डॉक्टर बाबरा, बट मेरा कागजात में डॉक्टर शर्मा सर है। तो ऐसा अनगिनत 100 से ऊपर पीएचडी का भी सर ने फुल गाइड किया है जहां पे सर का नाम नामांकित नहीं है। ऐसा महत शिक्षक को, मुझे शिक्षक के साथ मुझे बीपीएड, एमपीएड और पीएचडी का समाप्त करने के बाद जब मैं नेट के लिए तैयार हो रहे थे, तब जब हम 1-2 नंबर के लिए छूट जाते थे तो सर ने मुझे मार्गदर्शन किए, पढ़ाया, और जब तक नेट नहीं क्लियर किया तब तक सर ने छोड़े नहीं। महान शिक्षक को आज हमारा इस आलापन में उपस्थित होकर सभी को मार्गदर्शन करेंगे, खास करके मुझे और मेरे विद्यार्थियों को। सर ने अपना कीमती समय देकर आज इस आलापन को समृद्ध किए हैं। सिर्फ शिक्षण ही नहीं है, उन्होंने डिग्री कॉलेज ऑफ फिजिकल एजुकेशन के अपने प्रशासनिक कौशल से एक नई ऊंचाई तक पहुंचाया। उनके नेतृत्व क्षमता इस संस्थान को देश के शीर्ष संस्थान में स्थान दिलाया। सर ने जब भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम होता था किसी स्टूडेंट को, तो मुस्कुराते हुए सभी को प्रोत्साहित करते थे एवं प्रोत्साहित करता रहा है। सर के अंडर में जो पीएचडी हासिल किए, शिक्षा लिए है, देश और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर अभी शिक्षा और कोचिंग कोर्स में प्रतिष्ठित है। जैसे मैं आज जहां पर हूं, आशीर्वाद से हूं। सर को प्रणाम करते हुए इस आलापन में मेरे विद्यार्थी और मुझे एक बार मार्गदर्शन करे, यही व्यक्ति के साथ सर।
Yes. A very good evening to you all. On the outset, I would like to start with a great regards to my both revered teachers, Professor Uppal and Professor Dilip Kumar Banerjee. Both of them, they were my teacher. And in their presence, what I should say, actually, I can't decide. Nothing to be new for them. Whatever I learned from them, I'd like to throw some lights on this program. First, I'd like to appreciate as well as congratulate this college. I don't know who is the brain of this project. Such a beautiful program, I don't think it will be found in India anywhere. 100 total, I think it is near about 100 no issues. Total 100 lectures are organized. It's not an easy task to communicate each and every such an excellent physical education personalities. They just met them, they just had a conversation and then invited them and they presented it. And I think it's such a nice program. We must have hats off to all the organizers, mainly Principal Sure. Really, he's much more energetic. Otherwise, it could not be fulfilled your programs. As well as all the energetic teachers whomever leading this program. I like to congratulate whatever I don't know their names, but I know very well this Kesab, and many times I heard the name of Mrityunjay. So it is my congratulations and really hats off to you, both of you. Abid, after a long gap of days, I'm just meeting you. Really, I'm very much happy. But what should I say? Such type of programs, I think it should run by different institutions or different colleges or different clubs and associations, so as to the persons belong to this physical education and sports, we maybe or we should improve our outdated knowledges. So we are eagerly waiting for the speaker, today's speaker, Dipti Madam. So Madam, please, we are eagerly waiting for you. And saying this much only, let me attend the lectures, and lastly, if time permits, I can sum up this. Okay, thank you, Madam. Now you can. Mic is in your under. Thank you.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद
Thank you.
साथ में मेरे विद्यार्थी और मुझे अपना कीमती समय देकर मार्गदर्शन किए हैं। सर इस तरह बना रहे हमारा प्रोग्राम के साथ, महाविद्यालय के साथ और डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फिजिकल एजुकेशन के साथ। जब भी जरूरत पड़ता है तब भी सर का मार्गदर्शन मुझे मिलता है। फिर से एक बार सर का नमन करता हूँ और सूचित करता हूँ हमारे साथ जो पहले एपिसोड का स्पीकर प्रोफेसर आलोक कुमार बनर्जी, वाइस चांसलर ऑफ कल्याण यूनिवर्सिटी, भी सर भी मौजूद है। सर को भी नमन करता हूँ। ऐसा अनगिनत जिसको नाम अभी नहीं ले पा रहा हूँ, सभी को एक बार पुनः वेलकम करते हुए डॉक्टर मृत्युंजय दास सर को आमंत्रित करता हूं। आज का स्पीकर डॉक्टर दीप्ति जोशी मैम को मेरा विद्यार्थी के साथ परिचय कराए। डॉक्टर दास सर।
Thank you, Dr. Gop sir, and thank you. Special thanks to our today's chief guest, Professor Dr. Babar Ali Khan sir, for delivering his chief guest speech. And ladies and gentlemen, it's our pleasure to introduce our esteemed resource speaker for today's 99th episode of Alapun, Dr. Dipti Joshi ma'am. Dr. Joshi is an assistant professor in the Department of Physical Education at Sam Higginbottom University of Agriculture, Technology and Sciences, that is called SWATS, in Prayagraj, Uttar Pradesh. Ma'am specialized in athletics, yoga and tennis, area of special interest in health and nutrition research, methodology and sports training. Qualified National Technical Official in Athletics Federation of India. Ma'am also very much interested in taught research and statistics in physical education, anatomy and physiology, officiating and coaching, and history and principles of physical education. Ma'am has completed his 4-year BPE course and MPE course from LNIP Gwalior, completed his hard PhD in physical education from DAVV Indore, completed MA in Yoga from Uttarakhand Open University, completed her certificate course in trainees from Sai Southern Center, Bangalore. And ma'am also received first and second place degree holder in Reiki, that is method of natural healing. Ma'am has several times received several honors and awards, received Young Women Excellence Award in International E-Conference organized by Sage University, Indore, India, cleared NET with JRF in December 2008, awarded merit scholarship during MP8 course, represented MP and Chhattisgarh Directorate in annual NCC Republic Day camp, participated in the Prime Minister rally held in New Delhi, January 2007. Ma'am has also several sports achievement also. National level athlete in athletics hammer throw event, and participated in various national and all India inter-university athletic championship. Ma'am has received gold medalist in state level athletic championship in hammer throw, received gold and bronze medalist in national masters athletic championship 2022. Ma'am has 16 years of teaching experience. Now today we are Dr. Joshi delve into the complex and thought-provoking topic of exploring ethical dilemmas in modern sports science and physical education. To our insightful discussions on expert this please join me in welcoming Dr. Joshi ma'am. Please, ma'am, now deliver your speech. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir, for introducing me in front of the audience. And before starting my session, I would like to thank Alpan. This series, you people gave me an opportunity to express my views here. And what to say when such kind of eminent personalities are sitting here in front of me, Babar Ali Khan sir, Uppal sir, and eminent personalities of physical education and other areas, principal sir, and my batchmate, Dr. Vikas, and other people. So I don't think that I will express myself in that way, or there is anything new, but I will try my best to convey this topic to the students. So, sir, please allow me to start, and please avoid if I will commit any mistake in between the session, Babar sir and Uppal sir.
Yes.
So let me share the screen. And once again, thank you so much for the organizers for inviting me here. And I appreciate the efforts of entire team behind this series. And congratulations to you all for completing your 99th episode here. And best wishes for your 100th century, which is going to happen in next week or in upcoming days. So let me share the screen.
Okay, madam.
Is my presentation visible?
Yes, ma'am. Visible.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, please full slide कीजिए.
हाँ, sir. Just a minute. Is it on full screen now?
No, ma'am.
Not yet. Just a minute.
Not yet.
Just a minute.
मैम सबसे नीचे जो बटन है,
Yes, sir.
जहाँ पे जूम बढ़ा और नीचे कर्सर को लेके जाइए, हम बताते रहेंगे.
Here, sir. More options.
No, ma'am. नीचे एकदम नीचे जो आ रहा है 75% उसके बगल में जो ऑप्शन है. हाँ.
वही है, वही क्लिक
This
कीजिए.
one, ma'am. This one. Yes, ma'am.
This one.
Not this.
नहीं, आप बाएं तरफ लेके जाइए थोड़ा.
This one, sir. Meeting details. It's
No.
जो पानी का ग्लास जैसा एक लग रहा है ना, सबसे नीचे
मैम जहाँ से जूम इन और आउट करते हैं ना मैम, उसके जस्ट बगल में जो आइकन है पानी के ग्लास जैसा, जस्ट टच इट देयर. मैम नीचे बॉटम बार में आइए, बार में बॉटम पे आइए जहाँ पे जूम इन और आउट करते हैं.
Yes, sir.
मैम उसके बगल में देखिए एक बॉटल का ग्लास जैसे आइकन बना है ना.
मैम देखिए डिस्प्ले सेटिंग लिखा हुआ है. डिस्प्ले सेटिंग के बगल में 1 2 3 4 वाले ऑप्शन में गिलास की तरह जो है डिस्प्ले सेटिंग लिखा है आपके बगल में, नीचे वाले में.
हाँ,
डिस्प्ले सेटिंग लिखा है, नीचे आइए, नीचे बस 1 2 3 4 वाला ऑप्शन. हाँ साइड में ये साइड राइट साइड 1 2 3 4 वाला सिंबल.
प्रेस F5
Yes, sir.
जो कीपैड है, F5 प्लीज प्रेस.
F5 is not working.
मैम जहाँ से जूम इन और आउट करते हैं, जहाँ माइनस है ना जूम इन के लिए, जहाँ माइनस लिखा उसके बगल वाला जस्ट आइकन है मैम.
I think it is not visible on my screen. You are saying something, but it's not visible.
Ma'am, it's visible on your screen. That's the reason we show your screen right now here. So there, आपका जो नीचे है ना वॉल्यूम का अप एंड डाउन कमाना बढ़ाना उसी
Just
का
a
ही
minute.
साइड में
Okay, here.
हाँ
No.
आपका वॉल्यूम का ये साइड में जो है
हाँ. This is Wi-Fi connection.
वही वाला
वही
ये
Oh my God, what is happening?
ma'am, don't worry, ma'am, please go with this. It is visible, ma'am.
ओके, इट इज विजिबल मैम, आप चालू करें, नो प्रॉब्लम। विजिबल,
Just a minute.
सभी से अनुरोध है, मोबाइल स्क्रीन में जो देख रहे हैं उसको थोड़ा हाथों से जूम कर ले, ऑटोमेटिक बड़ा हो जाएगा।
ओके सर।
जो मोबाइल में देख रहे हैं सभी से अनुरोध है, कृपया थोड़ा सा जूम कर लीजिए तो बड़ा हो जाएगा। धन्यवाद मैम, आप शुरू करें, नो प्रॉब्लम, नो इश्यूज मैम।
I'm so sorry. What is happening? I don't know because I cannot see that button. It is visible on my screen, but right now I am not able to see that. So
No issue, ma'am. Please start your session, ma'am.
Ma'am, carry on.
Go
Carry
on.
on.
No problem.
okay,
Carry on.
fine. So
Yeah.
today we are going to discuss about exploring ethical dilemmas in modern sports science and physical education. See, physical education is based on many principles, and we have to follow scientific principles, psychological principles, biological principles, and there are so many things which is based on athletes' performance. But along with that, what we have to think is we must work ethically towards growing, towards improving our performance, or towards improving the standard of sports sciences or sports. So here we are talking about ethical dilemmas, advancing sports with integrity and responsibility, because it is not only the responsibility of the stakeholders, those who are organizing the event, those who are like coach or federations or athlete. Everybody should take the responsibility to make our sports clean, fair, and what we can say, we can provide equal opportunity to all our students. So here when we talk about this, just a minute. Is this slide changing?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it changing now?
Yes, ma'am.
Objective?
Yes,
Yes
ma'am.
ma'am, objective.
Okay, fine. So to identify, the objective of this topic is to identify emerging ethical dilemmas in sports science and physical education. What are the issues which we are experiencing right now? No, and what are the hindrances we are experiencing right now to promote sports with fair platform, to explore real world examples of ethical challenges and their impact. And the another one is to propose actionable solutions to address these challenges effectively. So here when we talk about these things, first, can you see the introduction slide? Is it visible?
No, ma'am. This is objective slide. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Now
Another introduction.
Introduction.
Yes, ma'am. It is visible, ma'am.
So, as I said, that ethics in sports refers to moral principles that we have, how we have to behave, how we have to keep ourselves working in the field of sports or sports sciences to ensure fairness, respect, and honesty for all. Not only for the winners, not only for some organizations, some people, but it should be fair for all the athletes, whether they are performing better or not, whether they are beginners, whether they are elite athletes. But we have to ensure that fairness, respect for everyone in each category of the athletes, and the honesty in the competition. Like we are participating with our abilities by presenting our best, by improving our performance with the, not by the unfair means, and by the education, with the help of science, with the help of technology, with the help of the historical background, we can improve our performance and we can improve this area. Now, sports sciences and physical education, as we all know, that government is also promoting. Everybody understood the role of physical education and sports in health and fitness of an individual. It is useful for everyone and very important for sedentary people, not only for athletes, those who are bringing glory for our nation, but that is the professional sports. But recreational players are there, and those who are those who are working in the area of fitness, trying to maintain their body. It is important for everyone. So sports plays a crucial role for everyone to maintain, to promote their health, to maintain well-being and athletic performance as well. So here we are talking about some ethical dilemmas which are very much we have to consider these dilemmas, and we have to take these points, very crucial points are there. We have to work on these areas very keenly. Now, importance of ethics in sports sciences. So what are the importances of ethics? Why we should follow the ethics, or why sports science need those ethics? If we see, to protect athlete health and well-being. Being a coach, if we train any athlete, it is very important. Not only we have to see that potential of an athlete to represent her or him in national level or international level, we must think about their health and well-being also. Like we are having background of physical education, so we are the professionalist in that field, and the students, those who are studying in BPES, BPEd, MPEd courses, they are the ambassadors of our profession in upcoming years. So we have to understand that taking glory for yourself, taking glory for bringing glory for the nation, for international, from in international platform, that is important. But by opting the fair method, we have to give training to our athletes, and we must have that mindset that athletes' health and well-being should not be disturbed. Another one is maintains fair competition. It is very important. If we will follow the ethics, if we will follow the fair methods of training and coaching and participating in any games and sports, it will help to maintain the fairness of the competition. If there is no fair competition, then it will not fulfill the principle of physical education and sports, because here we are trying to develop holistically develop the athlete or a person. We are not working on the physical aspect of an individual, but we are trying to develop an athlete holistically. We are working for their physical development, for their mental development, for their emotional, psychological and other holistic development. We are focusing. So to take these principles, we have to work or to prepare our athlete for the competition, so that we can maintain the fair competition there. Then builds public trust in sports. If we will not maintain the competition in a fair manner, how the parents will promote their kids to the kids for the sports? If fairness is not there, if we will not maintain the we will not take care of health and well-being of an athlete, we will only focus the performance based workouts for the athletes or training for the athletes, it's very difficult for the parents to send their kids to the ground. So ethics are very important to motivate the sedentary person to involve in sports, to motivate the parents to send their kids to the ground, because we are living in the country where we have the sufficient amount of talent in which we can glorify our nation in international platform. But it is very important to build trust in the parents, when we will build trust in the parents that yes, our competitions are fair, we will give equal opportunity to all the athletes, we will provide equal platform to all the athletes, and every student will get chance to express themselves in a 100% manner, then only we will have kids on the ground. And the first and foremost thing is priority of their health, and not only in their training session or in their performance period, but in long term throughout their life, they can live a life happily and healthy life they can live. Such kind of things we have to manage, and ethics are helpful for that. Historical examples, I think this case is very famous of a Lance Armstrong's doping scandal. He was the cyclist, and his doping case was very famous, and he dropped 7 titles from him, and along with that, 1 Olympic medal was there. When they found that this athlete comes under the criteria of doping, they snatched all his medals. So such kind of examples we must take, and there are numerous examples of doping by performing by unfair means. So we have to take care of these things, and ethics are important to understand the value of these things. Relevance to education, that educators play a crucial role or critical role. Being an educator, it's our duty to understand these cruciality of this unfair means, and we can convey to our athletes or our players these things, that how we can maintain integrity in sports and how we can develop sportsmanship so that we can maintain the fair play and clean game there. Another one is doping and performance enhancement. There are cases of doping. Doping means we are trying to artificially enhancing our performance. We are taking substances, we are taking other means and methods to perform, to what we can say, to stretch our abilities beyond the natural way. So we banned WADA and NADA banned few substances which we cannot utilize to for performance enhancement. So there are key categories of banned substances by WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency, and like National Anti-Doping Agency is working in India, and they are very strict right now for doping. And in sports competitions, everywhere where you will see the team of NADA is there to take first, second, third position athlete, and they are also going in national camps and competitions to test athletes whether they are working with only by fair means and methods, or they are taking any banned substance during the competition or training. So they are there to control these things. So here the anabolic steroids are there, and which are banned by the WADA, stanozol and nandrolone, and then peptide hormones are there. Then stimulants are there which are banned by the WADA, then beta 2 agonists, and then diuretics and masking agents. And there are numerous, blood doping is there, and carbohydrate loading is there, and there are so many means and methods where athlete is trying to enhance their performance by taking artificial things which are dangerous for their health and well-being in future. Then few doping cases are there where athletes were banned, like Shelby Houlihan. The athlete is banned in 2021 for using nandrolone and anabolic steroids. Then another one is Kamilin Valieva in 2022 tested positive for trimetazidine, banned heart medication. Sometimes it happens that athlete is taking any medicine for their recovery or for some medical emergency, but being an athlete, it's our moral responsibility to understand the what kind of medicine we are taking, whether what kind of salt it has, and whether it is banned or not. We have to take care of these things. Then only we can. Awareness is very important in coach and athlete both. Sometimes in many cases we have heard that athletes are saying that unknowingly they have taken some kind of medicine, or something they have taken for their pain or recovery or anything else. So awareness is very important. We have to conduct camps. Such kind of lectures are very helpful for the people, for coaches, for athletes both, to understand the banned substances and how we have to move ahead to improve the performance of an athlete. And there are so many things in this way which we have to work upon. Then Indian athlete Aishwarya Babu in 2023 suspended for using anabolic steroids during national games. And there are many athletes, group of athletes were banned for in participating in many games in India also, and in world. Russia was banned for taking this banned substances or in doping case. Then this Olympian discus thrower Kamalpreet Kaur, who qualified in this 2020 Tokyo Olympics, in finals, she got the 6th position there. Then she came into the case of doping, and this banned by 3 years. Finally, she accepted that yes, she took the stanozol for and accepted the violation, and which helped reduce her ban from 4 years to 3 years. Previously, it was banned for 4 years. Then she accepted the violence, and then it's for 3 years. So Duti Chand was her comes under the doping case, and there are so many cases we are seeing in newspaper and other things every day, that people are still taking these medicines or banned substances knowingly or unknowingly. Somewhere we want to improve performance, but in long term, if we will take those things, if we will not consider these things, then definitely we will disturb somewhere the purpose of the sports. Sport is not here to extend your limits by taking unfair means or unfair methods or banned substances, but sports is there to improve your abilities, improve your platform, or to bring glory to your nation by taking fair path, by taking what we can say that by working hard and elevating the performance by following the biological principles and other fair things. So it is very important. Then consequences of doping, as we all are aware about the consequences of doping, that health related issues are there, heart problems, hormonal imbalances are there, which we are seeing in many athletes. And early dropouts are there, those who are taking these banned substances in early stage of life, early training sessions. They are not performing well in what you can say in higher competition or in long term programs. So we always have to follow the sequence or training principle. We have to
Sorry, ma'am. Sorry for interruption. Shravani, please mute koro sound. Shravani, sound mute koro. Audio. Shravani Mondal. Thank you. Please, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry for interruption.
Thank you. No, it's all right. Thank you, sir. So, see, we have to understand one thing, that games and sports which we have introduced previously in our country, yoga was there. Still, we are promoting yoga right now for health and fitness, and for the purpose of what you can say that the self-actualization. The purpose is the self-actualization in our country, but this physical education concept came to promote health and fitness in all over the world. So health and fitness, when we being a physical education teachers, coaches, fitness trainers, if we will promote the banned substances, or if we will have not have the awareness about those substances, and we are not giving proper knowledge to our athletes or our players regarding those things, then the purpose should not be fulfilled. Like health issues will increase. So heart problems, hormonal imbalances are there, and there are numerous problems which they are facing in their later stage of life. So we have to understand this thing, and we have to take very seriously that performance is one thing, but if you are having the ability, definitely you will win. If you will have the potential, definitely you will win. But we have to follow the proper methods of training, we have to follow the principles of training, but not the shortcuts are not advisable, and not giving you glory in your later stage of life. Loss of credibility and career, another thing is loss of credibility and career. Why we are working, why we want to get medal for job, for other things, and to get what you can say, this popularity in the society, and for name, fame, and everything. But once you will come under the category of doping, then everything will be spoiled. So we have to take care of this thing, that the end results are very dangerous of this doping and unethical means. Examples of Maria Sharapova's suspension in 2016 for meldonium use. So they are very famous players, role model in every field, in athletics, in tennis, in football, in cycling, and other areas. Everywhere you will, boxing, wrestling, in every field you will find the cases of doping and utilizing the unfair means. So we have to learn lesson from that those cases, that you cannot you nobody can hide anything in any stage of life. If they will caught you, and if they will expose you, or any of the person who is doping, or who is taking unfair means for improving performance, then everything will be spoiled. So we have to take care of these things, that ethical ethics are very important for that, for in the field of sports, and everywhere it is important. Now, genetic manipulation in sports, we are in the era of AI, technology, science, everything we are seeing into the top level here. We have the tools, techniques, and we are equipped with each and everything. But in this field where we are equipped, now the thing which comes into the consideration, that we must use these things very sensitively, very carefully, when you have everything to eat. Now the thing is how you are choosing things to, according to your body, according to your requirement, according to the purpose, that why you are eating that particular food. Likewise, when you have technology, when you have experts, when you have AI with you to support everything, advanced medicines are there, and medical sciences, expansion of medical science is there. Each and everything is available in our doorstep. Here the question arises, that what we should opt, what we will which thing should come under your house, what thing you must take to try to opt. So here the genetic manipulation is another case which is very what you can say, that very dangerous. Here the use of genetic engineering, such as CRISPR technology, to enhance physical traits. You are enhancing muscle strength, you are enhancing endurance, trying to improve your physiology of your body. If you will try to improve the physiology of your body, which is not natural, not in a natural way, but trying to take artificial help for that, then it will definitely impact your natural lifestyle. So for the short period of time, maybe it can give you the muscle strength or endurance or other physiological benefits, but in later stage of life, if the athlete is not be able to enjoy the rest of his or her life, then what is the use of getting medals in national level or international level or any other platforms? So we must think about these ethical dilemmas. Fairness is in competition is very important. Should genetically modified athlete compete against non-modified ones? Is it what you can say, is it correct or not? Obviously it is not correct that the genetically modified athletes, if they are competing with the non-modified athletes, or those who are directly practicing and coming with the clean mindset to perform or to give their best, we are giving unfair platform, we are doing unfair things to those athletes. So being a prime, uh, we are sitting on the prime areas, we are working on this field, we are training ourselves to promote sports. So this is our moral responsibility or ethical duty to hold such kind of things, and should not promote such kind of behaviors from the athlete. Health risks are also there in long term, as I said, as we discussed in previous slide. Like hypothetical examples, that sprinters with genes modified for faster reflexes, we are giving genetic genes modification to the sprinters for their faster reflexes, to improve their reaction time, to improve their speed, or for other things. For swimmers, we are trying to enhance their lung capacity, and there are so many cases. Still things are going on, researchers are also researching. Few researchers are researching on positive directions, few researchers are researching on these areas also, that's how they can provide things to the athlete which cannot comes under the eye of NADA and WADA, and they can uplift the performance of athletes. So both kinds of work are going on, but we have to select things very authentically. Being a trainee or being a trainer, it's responsibility in the both part. Along with that, it's also the responsibility of the parents to be aware about the things, that what is going on. If I am sending my kid to the academy or to for sports competition, that I must have be aware about everything which I am going to give him or her, or what kind of activity he is doing, she is doing. That awareness is very important in each and every step of life, whether it is related to the sports competition or in other areas also. Then current status, gene editing is still experimental, but poses potential risk for misuses in sports. The experiments are going on. Things are not that much highlighted right now. Things are going on, research are going on, but are these kind of modifications good for sports? Do we want such kind of modifications? This is the question which we have to ask for ourselves, because this glory, this awards, rewards are for they are giving happiness in very short period of time. But if you are getting those things genuinely, then definitely it will give you happiness throughout your life. Otherwise you will have the fear in your heart that yes, whatever I have done, this not should be done, because the things which the way I opted it was unfair, or I did some injustice with the other athletes. So we have to find out such kind of ways. We have to develop the awareness for such things. Now, data privacy in wearable technologies. As I said, that we are living in the era of AI, and advanced technology we are experiencing here. But the data, are we people having the data privacy right now? If you will search for any tool or any for anything, if you will search in your mobile, next time you will get the advertisements regularly. How it is happening, whether you will search something in Google or in Facebook or in any website, if you will see, then automatically you will get the advertisement next time of that thing, because data is, they are breaching your data privacy. So wearable devices collect data on athletes performance, health and activity. We have to think that whatever data we are gathering, collecting, that must be used for the performance and enhancement, for maintaining health and fitness of the athlete. Like, we are checking their heart rates, we are checking their movements, we are using that technology in biomechanical, providing them biomechanical advantages. That is good. But to, if we will take those things unethically, then definitely if something is providing us benefits, then parallelly we have some disadvantage of those things. But here what we are discussing it, how to follow the ethical way to reduce those disadvantages. We cannot stop anything 100%, but by awareing people, by motivating our trainees, our coaches, we can uh, promote the what you can say, the ethical environment in our sports sciences or physical education and sports. So ethical concerns are there, that data breaches and unauthorized access. If you are putting your data in some application which is not having the security or privacy options for you, then they can misuse your data, and they can utilize your data in some other reasons. Then commercial misuse of sensitive data, like you are putting your health related issues, some sensitive informations, if you are unknowingly you are checking on some applications and they are breaching your privacy, then it is very hard for us to keep ourselves safe. Examples: Fitbit data leak, 2021 case is there. Fitbit is a application, they have exposed the 61 million records, health related records, their height, weight, some physiological the components were there. So they exposed that health information of 61 million records they have exposed in that particular application. Then proposed solutions. Here we have to think that how we can stop that data breaching, how we can improve the privacy, how we can develop apps or privacy options into that, so that if athlete is putting some data into it, it cannot be used for what you can say, for unethical use. If I am willingly giving my data, giving my record to anyone for research work, that is perfectly fine. But if I am just checking those things to know about my health conditions, and those applications are breaching my privacy, then it should not be done. And we have to find out the solutions, that how we can stop those things, how we can create pressure, how we can make policies, and how we can develop some authentic apps which can give you 100%. Applications are there and people are using, they are keeping their privacy safe, but technology is technology, anytime anyone can hack it, and they can use your data, because we cannot have control over such kind of situations. Like educating athletes about data privacy, it is very important to educate our athletes about data privacy. First of all, before using any application, you must read the privacy options. If we are whenever we are downloading any application, it says that uh, data privacy option is there, these terms and conditions you have to read. we generally avoid those reading those terms and condition, and unknowingly we clicked on that option to move further to use some applications or anything. But it is very important to read those terms and conditions whenever you are going to open any kind of app, whether it is related to your health and fitness or in other areas also. So you have to have that clarity, and students must be having awareness about it, and we have to educate our students about the data privacy. Implementing strict data protection policies can control these things, because if individually we cannot say that this should be done or not, but if policy makers will make the policy or some strict actions will be there, then definitely we will get the advantage of these technologies, and without having fear of that they can misuse our data in some other areas. So this is the area where we have to work on the protection of data protection policies. Policies are there, but we have to refine those policies more. Now, another ethical issue is gender and inclusivity issues. So gender discrimination, right now things are changing. Male, female, even people with special abilities and other categories, everybody is getting a chance to participate. But how we can have inclusivity into the sports, and how we can avoid undue advantages of mixing the category. If you have seen the boxing case, quarterfinals or semi-finals was there in Paris Olympic Games, the fight of Algeria's Iman Khalif. So they and another athlete is the Chinese Taipei athlete Ling Yu-ting, started competing in games despite failing unspecified gender abilities tested in 2023. This is Yahoo News published on 11th December 2024, that in 2023 they were ineligible for having some kind of gender eligibility tests. Still they have participated, and controversies are there. We cannot judge, or we cannot say things, but we have to understand these are the areas where we can work. How we will create the what you can say, the fine line, how we can maintain the equality, how we can avoid the discrimination, how we will see that at which point we will stop that gender eligibility test, whether we are justifying those things, because we must have that clear mindset that nobody can get disadvantage in for expressing themselves. So if we are giving eligibility to someone to compete in the competition, whether it is correct or not, or if we can find out another way to conduct our competitions, so that we can satisfy each and every player, and we cannot demotivate anyone. So such kind of cases are happening. Then equal representation of women in sports leadership and competition, not only in sports participation, but we must promote the leadership positions and competitions, like competition organizer, positions in federations, and other areas where sports organizations are working. There must be equal participation or representation of female, like federations are working on it. They are securing quota for females, 50%, 30%, like in our other structures of policies in our country. Likewise, we are now taking that advantage, but still domination, not domination, but still we have to motivate females to express their leadership, to promote these people to work not only in the field of sports, but for organization, development, research, and other areas also, so that we can develop the equality and inclusivity in our country. Then example, inclusion of mixed gender event in Olympics, like mixed swimming relay also, it is included in athletics. Mixed relay event is included in athletics also, to promote equality in events, or to inclusivity, to improve inclusivity. Here the question is how to balance inclusivity with fair competition. How we can, as I said, that between fair and unfair is very fine line. Sometimes we can see that yes, this person is not performing things fairly, but sometimes throughout their life they are doing something and they are not getting any disadvantage of it. So how we can maintain that inclusivity and how we can maintain the fair competitions, we have to work on that. And that will happen by promoting ethical values and taking clear path in promotion of health and fitness and sports sciences and physical education, everything. Then financial exploitation in sports, this is the another area which is very you can see the very common, that athletes are not taking advantage, or agents are there, sponsors are there, or their own team members, coaches, and other people, those who are not giving proper advantage to the athletes to take their financial benefits which they are getting from the government, or they are getting from the sponsors or other agencies. In between they are taking advantage, and these things are not reaching into the source. Means they are coming, policies are there, fund is coming, but the athletes are not be able to take advantage. There are many things, pressure in selection in the team, they want selection, they want many things, mental pressure is there. So financial exploitation is another area which we have to consider. Athletes, commercial exploitation by the organizers, they are utilizing them for the commercial purpose, and they are not giving them equal advantage or profits, or the training is getting disturbed with it. So there are issues which we have to consider. Corruption and mismanagement of fund, though when we are providing, government is providing some fund for beginners or to promote talents in the ground root level, where either that fund is reaching there or not, that is a very important aspect. Because right now media is there, promotions are there, we are living in the era of social media, where everything you are capturing in your phone, and we are having evidences, but sometimes they are uh, like data is available, we have this, but authenticity is missing there, because due to editing in that recordings and other things, AI is there, which are making videos and recordings. So this corruption and mismanagement we have to stop, so that people in the ground root level can get a advantage of financial support which are given by the government to those people. Ethical responsibility to prioritize player welfare, it is the ethical responsibility of physical education teachers, coaches, and all the authorities to keep the players welfare in a prioritized manner, to take those things in a priority. Then another area is child exploitation in sports. So we have to stop that child exploitation also. In such cases, the athletes are children's are they are manipulating kids to take financial advantage or personal benefits or other things are there. So to avoid these things, we have to keep our child aware, or to promote students or athletes so that they cannot come under that particular exploitation. Unethical recruitments are there, physical and mental stresses are there, sexual abuse is there. So we have to stop by awareness and by promoting the ethical behavior in our community. Then inclusivity in sports. Inclusive behavior is very important, whether it is gender equality, whether it is disability inclusion, or whether it is cultural diversity. Because if we will not have the essence of sports is inclusivity, we are always having the inclusivity to develop our athlete holistically. So this is the area where we have to work. We are working, but more we have to educate our students, kids, and trainees about this inclusion of gender equality, disability inclusion, and cultural diversity, and address different issues. Then ethical challenges in coaching, that what ethical challenges we are experiencing here, that respect and fairness. The first thing is, being a coach, it is our responsibility to have fairness in coaching selection. And if we are taking those athletes for the competition or participation, where there we should maintain fairness in behavior between beginners or advanced athletes, or we must take fair means and methods to keep our athlete playing in higher competitions. We must express the respect for all, and inclusion in the behavior, it is very important for coach, because being a it is very coach is a like a parent in on the ground. If coach will motivate the kid, then definitely one day they can bring glory for the nation. But if being a coach, if I will demotivate someone, or I will make them not to come on the ground by harassing them psychologically or in other field, then it would be very difficult for the athlete to represent themselves fairly. So it is very important. Then safety and well-being of the athlete, another topic which we are discussing from since our first slide, that safety and well-being is must. So before giving a structure to your training program, before planning for their training, whether you are planning short-term training, long-term training, or whatever you are doing, it is very important to keep in your mind that safety, health, and well-being of an athlete is our prime responsibility. Then strategies for upholding integrity, how we can uphold this integrity in sports, like educational measures. We can take educational measures by including this ethical issues or topic of this ethics in physical education curricula, which we are already giving promotion to in our syllabus. Then conduct workshop for athletes and coaches, like we are discussing these things here. Along like that, we must discuss those things in another higher platforms also, and in coaching sessions also, to educate our athletes. Then policy recommendations, as I said earlier, that making strong anti-doping policies or data privacy policies, and other policy making is one another way where we can control these conditions, and we can maintain integrity. Then stakeholders involvement is very important to promote the ethical behavior in sports science and physical education. Then spectators behavior is also very important on the ground. Being a spectator, if you are there is a positive and negative impact of a spectator in every field. But being a coach, we must train our athlete in a way, whether they are getting positive motivation or negative motivation, they must perform their best, they have to give their best. But that spectators behavior must be controlled during the competition, because if you are a elite athlete, you will not be distracted, maybe by having the advantage of long term training and other mental toughness and mental practices. You are able to control your emotions, and you can behave or you can perform positively. But for beginners, those who are participating first time, young kids, those who are starting their career there, spectators are playing a key role there. So we must look into this side also, that how we can improve the spectators behavior. We cannot control everyone, but yes, we must have such kind of programs, such kind of environment, positive things. If we will throw things positivity around ourselves, definitely it will reach into the another people, whether they are playing or not, and definitely it is reflecting on the grounds, and in coming years it will reflect in a more vibrations. So that is spectators behavior is another area. Then media's role is very important in sports. Media can highlight one person in one day, and they can destroy the career in a minute. So sensitivity of the media is also important, and that in involvement of media and sports, that is very important, and we have to make policies, we have to educate the kids, and those who are taking training in that particular area, they have to behave more sensibly, with the more sensibility, so that we can promote athletes and the environment of sports. Like in present situation, everybody is taking interest towards sports. Somewhere somehow this media played a great role to promote sports, and our sports athletes are getting sponsors, they are getting money now, and they are having very expensive brands, and popular brands are taking athletes for their brand ambassadors. And this tourism department and other government organizations are taking athletes to promote their brands, promote their policies and other things. So this is the magic of media, and this is the another area where we have to think to improve our sports sciences and physical education. Corruption in sports governance. See, financial misconduct, as we discussed, match fixing, doping cover ups. These are the major issues which we have to. And there are, along with that other issues are there, where the authorities are trying to hide the cases, giving cover up to the cases. So, in such things should not be done. Being a responsible person of our area, we have to think that we cannot promote unethical things into physical education and sports, to develop fair play in our physical education and sports, along with the sports sciences. Then challenges ahead. What challenges we have ahead? That balancing performance and health. Like if we say in one hand that yes, we are taking banned substances to perform our to improve our performance, on the other hand we have to take our health parallelly. So we have to find out the way where we can control those situations, and we can work genuinely in the field of sports, where performance enhancement tools cannot be dependent on unethical things. So such behavior will be encouraged by the physical education teachers and coaches and teachers, sports scientists and researchers. We are the one who will work on these areas. We will encourage our athletes, we will promote. We are the first hand source for the athlete. So it is our moral responsibility to promote this balance. Another is technological advancement. How we can use this technological advancement into a controlled manner. Like over use of anything or over dependency of anything is always dangerous. So how we can create balance between these advancement to promote the actual essence of sports is very important, and we have to work on this field. This is the high time to work on this technological enhancement also. Then commercialization. That commercialization is also another area where how much commercialization is important. What to maintain the integrity of the sports, basic essence should be there. It is not like for the commercialization we are taking putting our basic principles into stake. It's not like that. So we have to think on that whatever we are taking decisions we are taking, we are commercializing things, so it can be in an ethical manner or for the promotion of sports. Then conclusion and recommendations, that key ethical dilemmas which we have is doping, genetic manipulations, data privacy and inclusivity is there. Importance of addressing these challenges for the future of sports and sports education and physical education, everything. Because if we will not consider those areas, then definitely in near future we will see the aliens around us, not a sports person, not human being. Because if genetically they will modify the athlete, like these are the process, slow process are there. So we have to control such situations so that we can enjoy the basic essence of games and sports here, and we can maintain the inclusivity and sensitivity of the sports. Then recommendation, strengthen policies and education along with the awareness. Education bring awareness in the student, and we have to work on the policies also, so that we can improve and we can have the controlled conditions around us. So it is very important to strengthen our policies more and educate our athletes, our students and our players, and we can develop awareness in their parents also, so that we can control such kind of situation. Promote transparency and accountability, like we have the recording data and everything, we have things in our hand now. Things are changing, but still we need more transparency. If athletes are are in the camps, so their training sessions and whatever they are doing there, they must have the clarity in their mind that whatever they are doing, they have to give answer for that. So transparency and accountability must be there in the side of coach, organizers or athletes. Everywhere it is very important. So this is the things from my side. If thank you for your patience listening, and if you have any question or anything, you can discuss. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am, for your such a nice and informative lecture. And before we go into any kind of question answer session, ma'am, we are very happy to inform you and inform all in this 99th episode. And there's so many academic professionals and great personalities related to field of physical education and sports has joined. In this 99th episode, the Professor Alok Kumar Banerjee sir, the former Vice Chancellor, University of Kolkata, has joined. Professor Arun Kumar Uppal sir joined, but he is not right now for his academic work. Professor Dilip Kumar Bandyopadhyay sir already has there. Professor Tommy Jose sir are there, along with our today's chief guest, Professor Babar Ali Khan sir, joined. Dr. Tanmoy Saha sir there. Dr. Amitra Sen, our previous speaker sir, is already there. Dr. Supriya Mondal sir, our previous Alapon speaker, already there. And now so many academic professionals with us in this 99th episode. Before we go into any kind of question answer session, first of all, we are going to Professor Alok Kumar Banerjee sir, the former Vice Chancellor, University of Kolkata, for suggestion or sir, please few words for this 99th episode.
The lecture was very, very important nowadays in the present situation. So I congratulate Madam Dipti for your very good presentation.
Thank
And
you so much.
also, you have covered many area of ethics. Many area of ethics within a very short period. That is one way informative, no doubt. But one argumentative question I like to raise, if you don't mind. Shall I?
Sir. Yes, yes, please, sir.
This question I generally ask many young professionals during interview sessions in any during any appointment or something like that. See, there are a lot of advertisement against the smoking, the consequence of smoking, cancer. Even then, people taking random smoking cigarette and many other forms of tobacco. Like that, what is harm? If everything is becoming free and the athletes are allowed to take whatever the medicine they can take, the question of performance, and they will show the performance. That is very important. That brings the laurel. So what is the harm in it if it is open to everybody regarding and there is no nada, no nothing this.
Sir, this is what you are saying, that is correct in one way, but the principles of physical education and sports which we are carrying, and the ethics which we are which are behind our physical education, we cannot promote such kind of behavior, or we cannot give that open platform to everybody, because we are the teachers, and it is our moral duty to take our country or our athlete or our generation into a correct direction. They are doing business, smoking and whatever they are doing, still sports and physical education is the area which provides the means way how to live a healthy and healthy lifestyle. In our area, we restrictions are very important. We cannot in each and every area, but if we will give that open platform, then there will not be a controlled behavior, and there is no use of sports then, because everybody is doing whatever they want to do if we are giving them controlled situation like rules in the sports.
Okay, that's okay, fine. But the point which you have raised at the beginning of your lecture, one point and only for a few words only you have used, but that is very important, at least to me. That is well-being.
Yes, sir.
Well-being of the athlete. Athletes, after his career, he or she likes to live a normal life. And if they are accustomed to take such drugs, their life will not be a well-being one. So for health and well-being, this is also very important. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, Professor Alok Kumar Banerjee, sir, for sharing such a nice session and valuable question to us. Now we look forward to our another resource person, Professor Dr. Dilip Kumar Bandyopadhyay, sir. I'd like to request Professor Dilip Kumar Bandyopadhyay, sir, please say something regarding today's episode.
Thank you, Dipti madam. It was a very nice presentation.
Thank you, sir.
Also, it is very informative. And I was listening to your whole lecture very carefully. But I have got 2 points, two questions. One is, why in your title you have mentioned dilemma? Ethical dilemma. What is the dilemma? Is it a dilemma or it is a problem? Secondly, you have mentioned about sports and physical education. So far, my knowledge goes, the total population of athletes in India is very less in comparison to our student population. So you have focused on athletes and the ethical practices or other ethical development or ethical care, ethical protection and so on regarding athletes, those who are taking part in different competitions. But what about these millions of students who will be facing the classes or who will be taking part in physical education classes? So, what will be the process of their ethical development? Third thing is that we have mentioned about the punishment. According to me, I am not interested in your lecture about WADA and NADA, because in our society, if you simply break the ethics or what I call as breach of ethics, then it is punishable. But punishment is not the solution. It is the solution that is what you have mentioned about athletes. The athletes should be educated so that they develop ethical senses. That is right. But you have not very much mentioned about the ethical practices and ethical awareness of the officials. I want to mention about the Indian Olympic Association or International Olympic Committee or national bodies and coaches, because nowadays we know that there are many unethical events that are taking place. So they should also be very much educated so that unethical. But it is, to me, it is not possible, because today in our newspaper we have found that the International Committee for Corruption and Integrity of international different countries, 180 countries, they have assessed, and India is now standing at 93. India is standing in 93. So it is very much well known that corruption is there, and corruption means unethical practices. So I am very much concerned about the student population who will be facing or who will be rather under physical education teachers or educational system. They should have their proper ethical development. And you did not mention many things or too much about them. So your comment. Thank you very much for your nice presentation, Dipti madam.
Thank you so much for your valuable feedback, sir. And definitely in my upcoming sessions, I will add those things which are missing right now in my session. But in specifically mentioning that physical education teachers or a specific area of physical education that I had in my mind, that being I am right now here having the audience of physical education, those who are having the background of physical education. So it's their how they have to deal with these situations to convey this ethical practices to the common students. As I said, that awareness and educating people, not only the athletes, but they are giving physical education classes to the entire students of their school, their colleges and their universities. So they are the brand ambassadors, those who will take those practices into next level of students. So here specifically mentioning physical education, this is the only reason behind it. But definitely we have to consider the entire population in our lecture, not only take what we can say confining ourselves into physical education and sports sciences, but definitely it is important for common students, and ethical practices should be there. So we will means improve these things, and this was my mindset for addressing physical education behind.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you Professor Dilip Kumar Bandyopadhyay sir for sharing his such a nice questions, raising such a nice suggestions. Thank you, sir. Now we are going to look forward to our today's chief guest, sir, Professor Babar Ali Khan, sir, for giving suggestions or says few words towards today's lecture.
Is there any questions prior to my lecture? Any queries? I don't think so. No.
ওকে স্যার এক মিনিট স্যার
Anyway.
আমাদের ছাত্রছাত্রীদের যদি কারো কোনো প্রশ্ন থাকে, আমাদের যারা ছাত্রছাত্রী যারা আছো, if anybody has any queries regarding today's discussion, please unmute yourself before speak of today's chief guest, sir. If anybody has any questions or any suggestions regarding today's episode, please unmute yourself and say something regarding today's episode. Sorry, no question raised or thank you.
Thank you. Whole lectures I just attended nicely, and mainly Alok Banerjee sir as well as my teacher, my Guruji, Dilip Banerjee sir, they just raised as well as suggested all the points. Really, many areas are covered, but what Dilip sir, Banerjee sir, he just suggested, what about the physical education students? Really, it is a questions. We only consider the sportsmen. Whenever we say physical education sportsmen, but very rarely physical education is given the due importance. Nowadays, ethical aspects, everybody knows that these aspects day by day we are losing. There is no ethics. By hook or crook, we have to survive. So we adopt such a unfair means as well as all the unidentified activities. So for each and everyone's standings or survive. So what I think in sports as well as only we should say only sports, but physical education we cannot. In sports, mainly ethical aspects to be taught to the each and every sportsman. Unless it is taught to the sportsmen. Now see, nowadays in every team selections, unethical or in other way you can say how the players got the selections in the team. Very rarely it is observed that fairly it is selected. Not only that, players, now those who select the players and those who manage each and every organizations. So really it is a heartfelt matter because they don't have that much ability as well as foresight before conducting or before manage any organization. Still they are in the power. So in India, I think we must pay due importance to this aspect first. Then we can go ahead in other aspects. But many things covered by Dipti Madam, really very good topics. And my last suggestions to the organizer, if possible, please try to publish a book format. All the 99 or 100 episodes, you must publish it so that every physical education personnel, they can get the benefit of it. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you, one another.
Thank you, sir, for your such a nice, valuable speech at the end of the today's episode. And now we are going to the vote of thanks. I would like to request Dr. Keshav Chandra Gop sir to giving his vote of thanks in the 99th episode of Alapan. Dr. Gop sir, please.
Thank you, Mrityunjay. अभी भी हमारे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं टोमी जोश सर। सर को प्रणाम करता हूँ। सर आज इस सेशन में कुछ कहेंगे? आपसे नम्र प्रार्थना है।
Sorry, I have missed it. Professor Tommy Josh sir already there. Sir, I would like to request Professor Tommy Josh sir, our previous episode chief guest sir.
Okay. आज 99 एपिसोड में अंतिम चरण में हम सभी एकत्रित हुए हैं। मैं धन्यवाद देता हूं डॉक्टर मृत्युंजय दास सर को। मुझे धन्यवाद देना है गुरु जी को। और ये बहुत छोटा चीज है लेकिन बहुत महत्वपूर्ण चीज है, क्योंकि इस वर्चुअल प्लेटफॉर्म में किसी का नाम नहीं ले पाना एक बहुत बड़ा मुसीबत है। इसीलिए मैं सबसे पहले क्षमा प्रार्थी हूं। अगर किसी का नाम लेने में छूट जाए तो मुझे माफ करें। आज 99 एपिसोड का ओपनिंग सेशन महाविद्यालय का अध्यक्ष डॉक्टर देव प्रसाद साहू सर ने शुभारंभ किए थे। और एक खासियत है, हर एपिसोड में सर जितना भी बिजी रहे, हर एपिसोड का ओपनिंग स्पीच सर वही जगह से देते हैं। आज भी उसका व्यतिक्रम नहीं हुआ है। इसलिए सर को आलापन जो सुस्थ देहि सुस्थ मन एनी आलापन इस प्रोग्राम की ओर से सर को धन्यवाद देता हूँ। धन्यवाद देता हूँ आज का मुख्य अतिथि इस प्रोग्राम में, बट मेरा साक्षात गुरुदेव है डॉक्टर बाबर अली खान सर को, जो मेरा निमंत्रण स्वीकार किए हैं। ये बेटा का पुकार किसी बाप ना आवाज को स्वीकारे, ये तो हो नहीं सकता है। आज सर ने मेरा आवाज को ग्रहण किया है और अपना मूल्यवान समय इस एपिसोड को दिए है, इस प्रोग्राम का शोभावर्धन किए हैं। सर का इस प्रोग्राम में हो सकता है आज हम देख रहे हैं, बट जिस दिन से इस सपना लिए थे, सर से आग्रह किया था कैसे कैसे करें। हर टाइम जब भी कुछ मुसीबत आता था सर से सजेशन लेते थे। सर सजेशन हमको दिए हैं और देते चल रहे हैं ताकि इस कार्यक्रम को अच्छा से सफल चल सके। सर को आज 99 एपिसोड में चीफ गेस्ट के रूप में मेरे विद्यार्थी और मुझे मार्गदर्शन करने के लिए महाविद्यालय की ओर से और इस प्रोग्राम और शारीरिक शिक्षा विभाग की ओर से सर को नमन करता हूं। आज का मुख्य आलोचक डॉक्टर दीप्ति जोशी, जो एक्सप्लोरिंग इथिकल डिलेमास इन मॉडर्न स्पोर्ट्स साइंस एंड फिजिकल एजुकेशन, आधुनिक खेल विज्ञान और शारीरिक शिक्षा में नैतिक दुविधाओं की खोज के बारे में विस्तृत रूप से चर्चा किए हैं। मैम ने अपना कीमती समय देकर 99 एपिसोड को सफल बनाने में मदद किए है और मुझे और मेरे विद्यार्थियों को एक नई खोज दिए है। मैम को महाविद्यालय की ओर से, शारीरिक शिक्षा विभाग की ओर से और इस प्रोग्राम की ओर से मैम को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं धन्यवाद अदा करता हूं प्रोफेसर अरुण कुमार उपल सर को। सर ने पहले अपना वक्तव्य रखने के बाद सर ने पहले बता दिया कि मैं 8 बजे के बाद नहीं रह पाऊंगा, लेकिन इस प्रोग्राम में उपस्थित रहकर अपना सजेशन पहले दे दिए हैं, इसलिए सर को भी धन्यवाद व्यक्त करता हूं। धन्यवाद व्यक्त करता हूं मेरा गुरुदेव का सर प्रोफेसर आलोक कुमार बनर्जी सर को। इस एपिसोड में पहले से अभी तक है और अपना सजेशन दिए हैं और इस सजेशन देने के बाद इस मंच को एक ऊंचाई तक ले गए हैं। इसलिए सर को इस प्रोग्राम की ओर से मैं सर को नमन करता हूं। सर को नमन करता हूँ, अध्यापक डॉक्टर दिलीप कुमार बंदोपाध्याय सर को। सर ने भी इस प्रोग्राम में रहकर अपना फीडबैक देकर इस प्रोग्राम का स्वागत किए हैं। सर को भी नमन करता हूँ। नमन करता हूँ प्रोफेसर टोमी जोश सर को। सर भी है इस प्रोग्राम में। डॉक्टर दीपंकर मजुमदार सर है, डॉक्टर अमित्रा सन है, डॉक्टर सुप्रिय मंडल है, डॉक्टर तन्मय शाह सर है, जिसका नाम मैं नहीं ले पाया। मृत्युंजय, अच्छा सॉरी, जिसका नाम मैं नहीं ले पाया, मैं क्षमा प्रार्थी हूं। और जिसके लिए कार्यक्रम है, जो अपना शिक्षार्थी सभी ज्यादातर बीपीएड का बच्चों रहते हैं, फिर भी अभी 99 एपिसोड में मैंने देखा बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट, फैकल्टी और फिजिकल एजुकेशन लवर्स, एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर और जो भी आए थे इस प्रोग्राम में रहकर इस प्रोग्राम का स्वागत किए हैं, सभी को सेवा भारती महाविद्यालय की ओर से, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फिजिकल एजुकेशन ओर से और सुस्थ देह सुस्थ मन एनी आलापन इस प्रोग्राम की ओर से सभी को धन्यवाद व्यक्त करता हूं, नमन करता हूं। अगर इस प्रोग्राम में किसी का नाम नहीं ले पाया, फिर से एक बार नमन करते हुए क्षमा प्रार्थी हूं। अगले एपिसोड 100 एपिसोड जो लेक्चर लेके हम लोग चल रहे थे, उसमें मुख्य आलोचक रहेंगे लेफ्टिनेंट डॉक्टर ब्रिजकिशोर प्रसाद, LNIP ग्वालियर। सर ने आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस फॉर एकेडमिक राइटिंग के बारे में बताएंगे। अभी तक इस एपिसोड को हम कैसे बनाएं, इसके ऊपर डिपार्टमेंट और महाविद्यालय की ओर से चर्चा होने के बाद हम 5-7 चीफ गेस्ट को न्योता दिए हैं। अभी तक 2 चीफ गेस्ट है, एक फिजिकल एजुकेशन फाउंडेशन ऑफ इंडिया का जनरल सेक्रेटरी डॉक्टर पीयूष जैन सर, सेकंड चीफ गेस्ट क्रीड़ा भारती का जनरल सेक्रेटरी राज चौधरी सर। हम 3-4 जो मिनिस्ट्री का है वो कंफर्म होने के बाद हम बताएंगे। सभी अपडेट हमारा रिसोर्स पर्सन को देते रहेंगे, जो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप है। इसी सभी से आग्रह करता हूं उस दिन आप सभी रहे और 100 एपिसोड को अच्छा से बनाएं। 20 फरवरी फिर से गुरुवार मुलाकात होगा शाम को 7 बजे। इसी आशा के साथ इस प्रोग्राम को समाप्त करता हूं। धन्यवाद, प्रणाम।
थैंक यू
सर। एक मिनट सर, आई वांट टू से समथिंग सर।
प्लीज
बताइए सर। सर मैं एक छोटा सा हूँ, एक स्टूडेंट हूँ अभी भी। आप प्रियजन गुरुजन के सामने बोलने लायक तो नहीं हूँ, फिर भी थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दिस लेक्चर दीप्ति मैम। सो वंडरफुल लेक्चर्स मैम, and you have just added the knowledge so that we can serve the best to our beginners। जो नए बच्चे आएंगे, एथलीट आएंगे, हम उनके साथ बेस्ट दे सके। मैम एक चीज मैंने आपकी देखी मैम, जो ऐप के बारे में था आपने बताया था मैम, थोड़ा बहुत मैं नहीं जान पा रहा था, मैं नहीं जान समझ सका था, लेकिन आपने बताया कि कुछ ऐप से हमारे डेटा चोरी होते हैं। तो मैम थैंक यू फॉर एडिंग दिस नॉलेज मैम, वंडरफुल। एंड फर्स्ट एंड आफ्टर दैट सर बाबर अली सर, नमन है सर आपको सर। सर एक चीज मैं आपका शेयर करना चाहता हूँ सर। सर जब मैं बीपी फर्स्ट ईयर में आया था अपने HUPM में, तो एक बंगाली भैया थे, सीनियर थे एमपीएड के, जो थोड़ा बॉडी बिल्डिंग करते, पावर लिफ्टिंग करते थे। सर मैं आपका एग्जाम्पल मैं अभी तक देता हूँ कि मैं कैसे क्या कहते इस प्रोफेशन में आना पसंद किया सर। क्योंकि मैम आई वुड जस्ट वांट टू टेक 2 मिनट्स मैम प्लीज सर। जब भी मुझे कोई प्रोफेसर मेरे कॉलेज में बोलता है या सीनियर कोई बोलते हैं कि आप भी कुछ शेयर करना चाहोगे, तो मैं आई ऑलवेज यूज टू गिव द एग्जांपल ऑफ बाबर अली सर। क्योंकि एक भैया थे हमारे सीनियर सर, एक सीनियर थे हमारे, आई डू नॉट रिमेम्बर द नेम राइट नाउ। तो बहुत अच्छे थे, बहुत वेल पर्सनालिटी, वेल डेवलप पर्सनालिटी, वोकेबुलरी, एवरीथिंग वाज गुड। सर मैं देखता था कि वो जल्दी लोगों से मीटअप घुलते नहीं थे, सोशलाइज नहीं होते थे। मतलब हो सकता है कि कुछ पढ़ने में तेज हो या ऐसी पर्सनालिटी है, थोड़ा ईगो हो सकता है, थोड़ा बहुत ईगो आ जाता है। लेकिन मैंने उस बंदे को सर के सामने झुकते हुए देखा है, तो मैं उस दिन डिसाइड कर लिया आई वांट टू बिकम दिस काइंड ऑफ पर्सन वेयर इतने अच्छे लोग अगर आकर झुक रहे हैं सामने, दैट मीन सामने वाले के पास ऐसी बहुत सारी क्वालिटी होगी, इसलिए वो झुक रहा है। सर मैं हमेशा आपका एग्जांपल देता हूँ, एंड आई वांट सर, मैं पूरी कोशिश कर रहा हूँ सर आप जैसा बनने की। आप जैसा बन तो नहीं सकता, लेकिन मैं सर पूरी कोशिश कर रहा हूँ सर, मैं पूरी कोशिश कर रहा हूँ। उसी समय मैंने डिसाइड किया था आई हैव टू गो इन टीचिंग प्रोफेशन, आई हैव टू परस्यू पीएचडी एंड ऑल। सर थैंक यू सो मच सर।
थैंक यू, थैंक यू।
ऊपर वाला क्या जरूर हो जाऊंगा
सर नाइस टू सी यू सर, सर नाइस टू सी यू। थैंक यू दीप्ति मैम, थैंक यू
Thank you,
organizers.
Abid Ali sir, appreciating me on this platform, and
Ma'am,
it's
हम लोग
my honor to that I am sharing this platform with Babar Ali Khan sir, like personalities, and Uppal sir and other eminent personalities.
Yes,
I am
ma'am.
really grateful to the organizers for giving me such an excellent opportunity. Thank you.
And
thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, organizers, sir. Sir, thank you so much.
Thank you, Abid Ali. Thank you, Abid Ali, and thank you, ma'am.
To have this kind of lectures.
From this platform, we are inviting ma'am and Babar Ali sir for 100 episode in next Thursday. Please
definitely
join with us.
Yes,
thank you, ma'am.
Sure,
Thank you, sir, and thank you all. Good night. Good night.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.